Hello, this is Mark A. Wilson. Today we're doing topic 2.4, Ecological Tolerance for AP Environmental Science. The learning objective today for this unit, one of the biggies, is describe ecological tolerance. In other words, look at the range of different conditions and see how they can cause injury or deaths. We can look at that by just analyzing text, identifying the author's claim by the text, or we can analyze the data, either by straight data or we're looking at graphs and see what they mean. So ecological tolerance, what does that mean? And range of tolerance would be such things as what is the range of temperatures, salinity or salt concentration, of pH of sunlight that an organism needs or can endure before they die or are severely injured or unhealthy. So, for example, different species have ranges of tolerances for their habitat. For example, salmon have a basic range of tolerance from 6 degrees to 22. However, there are some salmon that, because of genetic differences, are able to live outside of that range. For example, these 6 different types of salmon, some of them are able to exist at a higher temperature. For example, these guys right here are able to go a little bit higher, whereas some of them right down here are able to live more in the probably Arctic salmon. Again, this is due to genetic biodiversity, makes it so that the species is more likely to survive and is more resistant to global warming. So if we look at the optimal range, the ranges come in basically 3 different types: the zone of intolerance, zone of physiological stress, and optimal range. The optimal range is where they're happy. They're going to survive, grow, and reproduce in vast numbers. However, where there's physiological stress, some of them will survive, most of them survive, but some of them will do stress and not be able to reproduce. They won't be able to grow because it's too hot or too cold. They won't be able to have as much fun, decreased activity, because it's outside their realm of what's preferred. Now, the zone of intolerance is not good because that's where they're going to die. It's too cold, too hot, pH is too high, it's too low. Some of the times with the temperature, when it's too high or too low, that's what happens is there's not going to be enough oxygen, not going to be enough food because the producers can't survive it, or maybe the water is just going to boil off, or possibly evaporate too fast. Some of the tips on writing FRQs. When we're talking about human activities or natural events, we want to correctly answer which type of range it is. For example, we want to connect the activity, say, for example, to climate change. So how do we do that? We want to, which activity leads to climate change? For example, increased use of electricity, therefore using more coal, more natural gas, leading to more electricity generation, more transportation, therefore more petroleum being used, agriculture, where we've got both the petroleum being used and the nitrous oxides being released. All of those cause an increase in greenhouse gases, which causes global warming and, if it's too severe, climate change. One of the things you want to say, however, is that the global warming shifts the temperature outside the range of tolerance, making them much less likely to survive. Or you can say that the global warming warms the oceans, shifting the temperature outside the range, making it so fish have die-offs. Another thing you want to do is try to connect the shift to a specific physiological stress. For example, suffocation, thermal shock, lack of food of oxygen. For example, global warming warms the ocean, shifting temperatures outside the range of tolerance for many species. Since global warming increases ocean temperature and warm water holds less water, fish may suffocate due to lack of oxygen. Or global warming can cause increased droughts. Rainfall patterns may shift outside the range of tolerance for many plant species. Without enough rainfall, they do not get enough water into their roots so that the plants can survive. Now, one of the things that is also often, especially in the new APs, is that you have a lot of reading. And within the reading, you have to identify what is the author getting at. What is the major claim within what you're reading? And hopefully that has been helpful.